Yeah, welcome to the channel. This is Naz, and today I'm going to be talking about Noragami. So, Manga Recommendations Episode 3. Let's get on with it as to why Noragami is the business. Yokai centric. If you are into, Bleach, heavily influenced similar vibes. Yokai themes of Japanese folklore are heavily influenced by the different deities, right? All the different gods of either Japanese myth, Chinese myth, but kind of the East. And I'm not gonna act like I know, what it is, but I like the influence anyways. And the art shines through where it needs to. So the second aspect that we need to, once we talk about what the whole thing is about, is the art, and the art shines. The duo are, masterful. So I would just say it's A tier. It's not like some parts are S tier, in my opinion. As for the story beat, let's talk about the story beat. Oh, I have a lot to say about the story beat. So many different things. For one, the comedy aspect. Yato is a funny character. Yato-sama, or Yato God. He's basically a YouTuber type of an individual who is selling. You call him when you have a problem. I think an influence that can be seen, maybe Gintama type. So the odd fellas, right? He's doing work. He's the odd. He's working. He's man for hire, and his capabilities or his abilities are he's slaying Ayakashi, or in this case, evil things that might, or bad feelings that other people might harbor towards you, and that those evil feelings can produce or bring a curse. And Yato Sama pretty much solves all those issues. So I kind of like the story beat in that, right? And then there are different arcs, there are different elements that the duo or the team that brought us Noragami, they use it. So their penmanship is fantastic when it comes to the story beat and the story and the action. It's obviously the medium of it is shonen, yet it plays kind of like the border of seinen almost in its attitude and tone and delivery. And I kind of like it, so breaking away from our Naruto childlike, I want to be Hokage, but the motivation is different for Yato. He wants to, he has a past that he wants to break out of. So he wants to be his own man. He wants to be a YouTuber. So it's more relatable to us than the other characters that want to become, like Luffy uh, or Naruto. So a little bit different here. And I'm all kind of, I don't know the structure that I'm following for this video, but I'm all over the place. Also the action, the swords, oh, remarkable. And the anime is going to be a recommendation for me, but I'm going to say less about it. Let's talk about the characters though. So the characters is so many characters, and you could either love some, I hate some, dislike. There's a relationship that I have with all of them. Yato, the main character, obviously he's funny, he's quirky, and I kind of just he drives the main story. And some parts I'm not gonna like, but some parts I do like for Yato. Yukine, kind of his sword. Yukine is this being that can is the sword element, right? But Yukine, I think his character fulfillment or his realization, some parts can be boring and some parts can be feel like dragged out, and that was just my personal opinion for Yukine. And later on, like volume 26, he's still going through some of his character arc. Hiyori, I think the writers are a little bit confused as to Hiyori's arc in a way. But I like the relationship between Hiyori and Yato, and sometimes it can get depressing. Some parts, yeah, Hiyori goes through a lot. Now, the character that I love is Bishaman, and Bishaman is actually a supporting character, and sometimes is used by the writers to kind of like maybe do like plot con sometimes. But I like her as a character, and I dislike that aspect some places. But Bishaman doesn't learn from her past mistakes, and there's something about it in their execution or kind of like their presentation of this character. And for me, I think Bishaman is my favorite out of all of them, and he's a supporting character. It's not even like the dude that is not in the trio, so it's like the four character here. So I like Bishaman. But for the villain, there are a variety. But the villain, I can say I like it. I like the villain in this one. There are a few villains that I really care about. If you guys are familiar with Ajin, the Saito, or the character, one of the villains inside. Whew, yeah, so if you admire that, this has one of those type of villains. This Noragami has that. So the villain is nothing to write. It's not just a character plot, but a character that you can either like and dislike in some parts. You might root for them. So that's kind of like it. Sometimes I root for the villain. But now the relationship between the dynamics. Oh my goodness. I gotta say Yato and his relationships with the villain slash what he's trying to accomplish. That's why I love it. I love it. I'm there for the journey. I'm there for the story. I'm rooting for Yato. And each portion, some parts, yeah, the pacing can be a little bit slower. I'm talking about some of the, like, the flaws of the story, but otherwise it's top tier manga. My recommendation here today, third on the list, and yeah, get into it, pick it up right away, enjoy. Thanks for watching as always, and peace.